The hallway was alive with noise, 1,000 voices echoing against the pale beige walls of Crestwood High, footsteps pounding over the waxed floor, lockers slamming shut like thunder in the distance. Among the crowd walked Amelia Harper, her blonde ponytail bouncing in rhythm with every confident step, her cheerleader uniform perfectly pressed, her smile radiant but slightly nervous. She was known in the school for her graceful moves on the cheer squad, but beneath the surface she was quiet, reserved, and often the subject of whispered conversations. People assumed her confidence came naturally, but the truth was, she wore it like armor, fragile and easy to break. And that morning it nearly shattered. The group of bullies waited like predators by the trophy case, their ringleader, a tall boy named Brandon, flanked by 2 others, Courtney and Jessica, leaning casually as though they owned the hallway. Their voices dripped with cruelty, laughter bubbling like venom. Amelia had noticed them before, mocking other kids for their clothes, their hair, their weight, anything that would make someone shrink into themselves. But today Amelia was their target. There she is, Crestwood's perfect little cheer princess. Brandon sneered loudly enough for the crowd to hear, his grin widening when several heads turned. "Hey Amelia, do a twirl for us. Don't you cheerleaders always practice that?" Jessica snickered, clutching her phone to record. "Yeah, show us some moves. I mean, isn't that all you're good for?" Waving pom-poms and looking pretty, Courtney chimed in, her eyes scanning Amelia like a hawk. "I wonder how long it takes her to do her makeup every morning. Bet she spends hours pretending she's perfect, but deep down..." She trailed off with a cruel laugh. "Deep down, she's probably nothing." The hallway grew quiet, students slowing down to watch the spectacle. Amelia felt her chest tighten, her heartbeat drumming in her ears. She wanted to walk past, to ignore them, but their voices pierced deeper, louder, pushing her to the edge of her self-control. Brandon suddenly stepped forward, blocking her path. "What's wrong, Harper? Cat got your tongue. Or maybe your perfect little cheer life isn't so perfect anymore." He smirked as he leaned in closer. "Bet your mom taught you to smile and fake everything." Ha! That last word hit Amelia like a slap. Her mom, no one talked about her mother. People at school knew her only as Mrs. Harper, the kind woman who sometimes volunteered at PTA meetings, soft-spoken, sweet, always with a gentle smile. No one knew the truth. No one knew the life her mother once lived, the one Amelia herself only learned about 2 years ago in a late-night confession that changed the way she saw her. But Amelia couldn't reveal it. Not yet, not to them. Her fists clenched at her sides. "Leave me alone, Brandon," she said softly, but her voice trembled, betraying her. The bullies laughed. Jessica moved closer, holding her phone at an angle to catch Amelia's face. "Ow, look at her. Is the cheerleader about to cry? Imagine how many views this will get. Popular girl breaks down in hallway. That's viral gold." Amelia's throat tightened, but she refused to let tears fall. She straightened her shoulders, lifted her chin, and tried to push through. But Brandon shoved her back. Not hard, but enough to make her stumble into the locker behind her. The crowd gasped. Someone whispered, "This is going too far." Inside Amelia, something stirred, something she had inherited without ever asking for it. Her mother's strength, her mother's secret. She remembered the night her mom sat her down, her voice steady but eyes heavy with memories. She confessed that before Amelia was born, she hadn't been just the quiet woman who baked cookies and smiled politely. She had been a fighter. A real fighter, trained in martial arts, competitions, street defense. Her past was hidden, buried deep because she wanted a safer, gentler life for her daughter. But she made Amelia promise one thing. If they ever push you too far, don't crumble. Don't hide. Remember who you are and remember who I was. Amelia never thought she'd need that advice. But now, standing in that hallway with dozens of eyes staring, her heart pounding, she felt it ignite inside her like fire. She could almost hear her mother's voice whispering, "Stand tall, don't fear them. Power isn't in mocking, it's in silence, control, and striking only when needed." Still, she didn't act, not yet. The tension rose, Brandon pushing closer, his voice dripping with mockery. "Come on, princess. Let's see if you're as tough as you pretend. Or are you just a pretty face?" Jessica laughed, circling Amelia like a vulture. "She's not tough. Look at her. She's shaking. Cheerleaders are nothing but decoration." Amelia's hands curled tighter. She remembered the nights her mom taught her a few basic moves. Not just the flashy kicks or punches, but the stance, the breathing, the calmness before the storm. Her mom always said, the strongest fighter doesn't always fight. But when the time comes, she doesn't hesitate. The crowd began murmuring, some recording, others whispering nervously. A teacher wasn't around. It was Amelia against the bullies. And though her mind screamed to run, her mother's past pulsed through her veins. Brandon leaned in closer, his grin wide. "What are you gonna do, Harper? Cry for Mummy." Something snapped. Amelia's eyes hardened, her fear melting into steel. She stepped forward, her voice steady now. "You don't get to talk about my mom." The words were low, sharp, cutting through the laughter. Brandon blinked, surprised at the sudden firmness. Jessica lowered her phone slightly. The crowd felt the shift, the tension thickening like a storm about to break. Amelia wasn't just the cheerleader they mocked. She wasn't just the girl with perfect hair and a uniform. She was her mother's daughter, and though no one in that hallway knew it yet, that meant something far more dangerous than they could imagine. And in that moment, she decided she would no longer be their victim.